Hello again, great ones. Man, this intro thing, I love it. I love how it's a little different every time.
Each time?
Yeah, I know. I think we talked about this a little bit before. I don't have a plan whenever I'm like, I just tell Phil, we get on here, we start the cameras, and I'm like, hey, I'm getting ready to hit the record buttons, just kind of so that he's ready. But we're not like, oh, hey, I'm going to say this thing. It's kind of like hit the record button and we look at each other and we're like, well, I guess we're recording.
I guess it's ready. It's time to go.
That being said,
what are we talking about?
it is ready. and today we're going to talk about something that is very, very relevant to the week that we just went through down here in Texas, Russia, Antarctica, Texas.
I mean, I would assume that most people listening are probably local and went through the same exact thing.
Oh, yeah, for sure. They probably,
unless it's like 5 years from now and we're huge podcasters. And
oh, yeah, we'll probably be living in like Maui. You won't even remember Texas
people will be
anymore.
listening to episode 9 or 10 or whatever this is. And they're like,
whoa. And they'll be like, wow, man, these guys, they live in Maui now, but 5 years ago, they froze to death in Texas. Lucky we made it out alive. So talking to our future selves, congrats, you made it.
Still alive.
You're still alive or whatever. So the title of this episode is called It's Your Fault. And I think that that is relevant, or that's a appropriate title, because anything that goes wrong or doesn't go according to plan in your life, it's ultimately your fault. And I think it's very important to highlight that even if it's not, your fault, it's not like you didn't create the winter storm that blew through here. But the fact that there were adverse effects on you, that's your fault. And even if what I was about to highlight earlier or a second ago, even if it is somebody else's fault,
there's something that you could have done that could have prevented it.
But exactly. But pointing the finger doesn't accomplish anything anyway.
Right.
It's Phil's fault. Okay, well, it still happened. It's still a thing that exists, and the issues that it caused are still here. So we're going to sit around crying about whose fault it is, or Centerpoint didn't have my electricity on. Doesn't matter. You still froze your ass off in your house.
For sure.
And you found a way. So this week we got hit by a historic winter blast here in Texas. And a lot. Let me just run through. We'll talk. Let me go first.
Okay.
And
sure.
since I got the mic here, and well, you have a mic too. That's a pretty nice mic, man.
Thanks.
I need to get me one like it. Anyway, I mean, so we had a historic winter blast. And there were a lot of adverse effects on my life and me and Jess's situation, and
Diesel
and the dogs, and Ruby too. I mean, really, they were cold, man. And they're all my fault. It's very important to shoulder that blame yourself. I failed at 75 hard. The first thing that I failed at a couple of the things, but the first thing I failed at was the diet, because I wasn't prepared. I didn't have electricity to use my electric stove, to use my microwave. I didn't have a gas grill. So I didn't have the food that I needed to continue on my diet. So I didn't have any electricity, so I couldn't use my stove or microwave. Didn't have a gas grill. Couldn't cook my food, so I had to go to one night I went to a taco truck. Thank God they had some propane. They were over there cooking.
Wait, which taco truck?
It's right by the gym. It's like catty corner. You know where the hop's
That's what I was
at?
asking, because there's a couple of them.
At the gym, and then catty corner, there's the hop.
Yep.
Right behind that, there's like an empty parking area.
Oh, the big white one.
Yeah, thanks, salute, man.
Yep.
By the way, quesadillas and tacos.
I've never been there, but I do like taco trucks.
Fernie put me on. So we went to the gym that night to take a shower.
Oh, okay.
And Fernie was in there with I think it's his wife.
It's his girlfriend, but.
And they were eating this delicious looking food. I'm like, hey, Fernie, man, where'd you get that?
Where'd you get
that quesadilla, man? He's like, matter of fact, he got up and he pointed out the front of the gym, and he was like, that taco truck right there.
Uh-huh.
So I went to the taco truck. So shorten it up. I failed at my diet, and I failed at my outdoor workout too. But so I didn't have a backup cooking plan. I didn't have enough food prepared. I didn't drain the plumbing in our house, so our pipes burst, causing it. So it soaked the insulation in my ceiling, caused my ceiling to cave in my master bedroom, and it hit Jessica in the head. It destroyed,
like the sheetrock, or
the sheetrock caved in, man.
But the sheetrock hit her in the head. It wasn't like, okay.
Well, sheetrock weighed down with soaking wet insulation.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it didn't feel pretty.
No, definitely not.
And there was just a lot. There was just a lot of things. I mean, plants died. Like, there was just a lot of things. The dogs were cold, man. It was 40-something degrees in my house. And guess what? They told us a week ago that this storm was coming. By they, I mean our ever so dependable weather people in the area. But they did. They told us that this Arctic blast was coming and that we should be prepared. And guess what?
You weren't prepared.
I wasn't prepared. It's my fault that all of this happened.
Me neither.
I should have, one, cooked more food, like had it prepped and ready. I should have made sure I had something in place so that I could cook more.
We didn't even have
propane or charcoal grill.
Yeah.
I should have made sure that I shut the water off to my house and drained the pipes out, because I know exactly how to do it. I have a low point in the front. I could have turned the valve off, drained it all out, and not had this issue. Ceiling would have never caved in. I could have had more firewood cut up and ready, because we had firewood for a little while in our living room, and that it eventually. I mean, we were out of power for days and days, so I could have had more firewood on hand. I could have had an all-together backup plan for Jess and myself, or for Jess, the dogs, and myself to go somewhere else, to leave the area, because we knew that it was going to be bitter cold and we weren't going to have resources, right? There's a number of things that I could have done to avoid that situation, and I didn't do it. So people want to point the finger at Mother Nature for the Arctic blast, center point for no electricity. The city of Houston
for the water,
because the water,
Yeah, people are still upset about the water thing, but
it doesn't matter, dude. You should have had a bottle of water, man. Yeah. Should have went and bought more bottled water. That's one thing I did have. I did have a lot of bottled water.
Yeah.
So I kicked ass on that one thing. give myself a check mark on the bottled water.
Well, here's the question.
It's my fault.
Instead of blaming, all these other things, I'm going to ask you, like, what are you doing now? Instead of doing that, what's different? Because they always say you got to learn from it, right? So what are you taking away? Instead of blaming everybody else and pouting, what are you taking away from this?
So I started, actually Jessica started, but we collectively, while we were going through, we were in the middle of this tough time where it was 40-something degrees in our house. Our dogs were cold. We didn't have any food. We didn't have any water. Our ceiling was caved in. We had to, seek shelter and go to taco trucks and go to the gym to take a shower. Shout out OTG Fitness for the shower. Like 3 times. I think it was nice and hot. But while we were in the midst of all that, we were taking notes. We were going, next time, we need to make sure that in case, or for when this happens again, we have these things.
Wow. Can I borrow those notes?
Yeah. We need to make sure that we have a way to cook using gas, whether it be get a natural gas, like a regular gas cooktop in your kitchen, like a stove.
Because a lot of these takeaways, just sorry to interrupt, but like a lot of these takeaways are not just for the cold,
hurricane season.
Yeah, for sure. Where we live and all kinds of things. Anyways,
make sure that, so we're looking into switching from electric stove to a gas stove. Additionally, have a propane grill with propane, because I had charcoal, I had propane, I just didn't have a grill to use them on. Make sure that we got a propane and or charcoal capable grill. So we'll at that point in time, we'll have a natural gas stove, which will probably, we never lost gas to the house.
Right.
We have another way to cook. Make sure that we have, what's the word for foods that keep for a long time? non-perishables.
Yeah, there you go.
We have.
I was trying to think of that.
We emptied.
I would
out.
have had it. Just to
We
let you
had.
know.
I know you had it, but we clean. We have two different linen closets in our hallway. I think it was just some extra space. The builders put in an extra closet. We cleared one of them out, and we're gonna put some non-perishables in there for the future, right? We're going to look into getting either a natural gas generator installed at the house or figuring out a way to get our blower motor to work, because we had gas, right? We have a gas furnace.
Natural gas generator?
Yeah,
Is that like different than a gasoline generator?
Yes. So like a natural gas, you know how we have gas to the house. We have for the gas fireplace.
Right. We do as well. We have gas, hot water at home.
Right. So we do too, gas water heater. Mm-hmm. And what they do is they'll come tie into your gas for your house, and they will use as a generator that can convert that natural gas
to electricity.
And they'll tie into your panel. So when you lose power, you kick that generator on and it runs your electrical panel for your house. So it burns the gas. So it's very different than having like
this loud, huge
you
thing
start
in
up,
the backyard.
You start up the old two-stroke. I don't know if they make two-stroke. You start up the old generator. Yeah. It's back there, and you can only run like one appliance.
Yeah.
So we're looking into that. We're looking into. Of course, you always got to have bottled water on hand, which we had. Mm-hmm. Make sure we restock that, and other various things to. What was I saying? Oh yeah, be able to run our blower motor, because we have a gas furnace that heats the house, but the blower motor is electric. So we had hot air too. We had heat to distribute to the house, but the blower motor didn't work. So maybe figure out a way where we can plug into that to turn the blower motor on to heat the house. In those situations, and there's all kinds of.
I'm gonna need to borrow these notes.
Oh, we got them, dude.
Yeah, please.
And so, in that time of despair, we were making notes. We're going to get a propane capable, like a burner. You know how you would see like maybe like a big crawfish pot sitting on top of a burner that's hooked to a propane bottle.
Right.
I have the propane bottle, but I don't have the burner. Mm-hmm. So if I would have had a burner, I could have hooked in and we could have cooked some food. I maybe wouldn't have failed at 75 hard.
Right.
But I knew about the storm for over a week. I didn't go get the stuff that I needed.
Yeah.
And I failed.
Dude, we had...
Let's hear a little bit about Phil's.
Our power, we were one of the first to lose power. Because remember, we were recording here when we lost power and we lost the last episode. We didn't have power at home at that time already. But anyways, dude...
Yeah, we had it for another...
You had it for an extra day.
An extra day.
We
were living large.
Have one flashlight... Little bitty.
I had a headlamp.
One little bitty flashlight, one candle. And actually we had to, so Nicole loves elephants, right? We have like almost 30 elephants.
Burn some of the elephants
in our household. But there's these little elephant candles that, to be honest with you, I never even realized they were candles.
Did you burn them?
Yeah, she wasn't exactly excited to use them,
had to get it done.
But to do my workout, I believe that was Tuesday night, which was the worst night. No, Monday night, because power went out Sunday night. Yeah, so Monday night, because we got home from our friend's house who had a generator. We probably got home at about 10. And
I wasn't that friend that had a generator.
Yeah.
Just so y'all know.
We did yoga as my second workout in our room, candlelit.
Kind of romantic.
And it was, let me tell you, it was not at all. It was freezing cold.
Lit.
It was so cold.
Yoga.
But anyways, yeah. So but yeah, we had no.
So it wasn't hot yoga.
No.
It was the opposite of hot yoga.
Yeah, opposite.
Heard of hot yoga, right? That's
yeah.
a thing.
44 degrees in our house.
Jessica told me about it, and I was like, it's not a thing. And then like I saw like a hot yoga studio one time, and
yeah, it's a thing.
They get
I think
really
it's at like
hot
110 degrees
in
in there.
It's like sauna yoga.
Yeah. I want to get a sauna at the gym and at home, actually. But anyways.
I'm all about it.
Tangent there. But yeah, dude, we were not.
Maybe I should put sauna on my prepper list. Natural gas powered sauna, propane sauna.
Sounds great.
I would
We
love
just
to
stay
go
in
to
there
sauna.
the whole time, the whole week that it's freezing.
I would rather stay in a 150-degree sauna overnight.
So
than
confirm
4 degrees.
Definitely confirmed that I'm glad we live where it's usually hot.
Well,
not
I thought
cold.
like we were safe from like Alaskan, whatever that was.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to call it.
I mean, it was pretty bad. But anyways, we were not prepared at all. I'm definitely the type of person that I'm not an outdoors type of, like, I like being outside, but I'm not like a camper. I don't like.
Oh no,
I'm not like a prepper.
Been camping before. I don't love it.
I don't like it. I'm not like.
I'm not telling you to be a doomsday prepper either.
Yeah, no, not at all. But I'm like the furthest thing from that.
No.
So I'm never thinking about what if we don't have this thing. My mindset is more like, we have this great technology. Let's use it to our best advantage.
Right.
And I'm always thinking about how to go to the next level with the technology that we have. I'm never thinking about what should we do if we don't have this technology. That's just not my mindset. And like, I don't know how to explain that, but
So, moral of the story is you knew this storm was coming for over a
not
week.
prepared at all. Zero.
And it's Centerpoint Energy's fault.
Yeah, not mine. No, just
What does that get you?
yeah, nothing, nowhere.
Right. So, I acknowledge that it's my fault.
Yeah.
And I made a list of all the things that we need to do in order to prepare ourselves for, because, like you said, it's not just when it gets really cold, because apparently now it gets down in like the negatives in the wintertime here, like snows on the beach and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Which it might be forever before that happens again, but something's going to happen.
well, we'll get a hurricane, right?
Hurricane for sure, yeah.
I mean, you could just flat out just lose power. Sometimes there's issues with power grids and you lose power for a little while. And if it just so happens we lose power when it's frigid outside, then you're going to be in the same spot.
Yeah.
So, moral of the story is it's your fault when something doesn't go well in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And this applies to all areas. If you're not getting the
Results.
the results you want, period. Fitness, that's your fault. School,
Work. You're not getting the promotion.
business.
Yeah.
It's your fault. There's something that you could have done, and it may be something as small as a communication issue.
And make sure that your perception's not off. Like, we're not like Daryl's not pointing his finger on your forehead. You know what I mean? Maybe kind of a little bit, but your perception is, yeah, it's my fault. Not now go feel bad about yourself, but it's my fault. What can I do different next time?
I think that
There's a big difference there.
in my opinion, it can come off as a very saying it's your fault can come off as very, I guess, abrasive. But to me, it's a very liberating feeling, because guess what? When things go right in your life, when you do achieve your goals that you're working towards, when you are prepared for the storm, when you are losing the weight, gaining the muscle, when you are saving the money, when your business is moving in the right direction, that's also your fault.
Ooh, that's very true.
Very liberating to think that you are in control of the outcomes.
Yeah, and you never think about that. I never really thought about that, because it's really easy. It's similar to, this popped in my head. It's similar to, people can tell you a million good things about you. Like, oh, Darryl, your hair looks great. Or,
Oh, does it?
yeah.
I can't see me right now.
I'm just like thinking of examples, like, you're in great shape, blah, blah. They just tell you all these compliments, right?
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as one person says something bad, like, oh man, Darryl, that shirt, you'll remember that forever. Or
I have to call Mark Lobliner. Take that up with him.
I don't know why my keeps doing that, but
Phil's
Like, has a
camera
little
just turned off.
timer or something. But
And it was our fault that we didn't check the timer
Yeah,
before we started.
because that's happened before and I didn't fix
Probably GoPro's fault. We should call them.
it. Yeah.
Chew them out for messing up our podcast. Because that'll get us somewhere.
But anyways, yeah, the one negative comment always stands out to you.
For sure.
So it's the same thing here. When you're doing good things for yourself, you don't give yourself credit. But as soon as you do something bad, you beat yourself up.
Oh, man, I wasn't prepared. I should have done this thing. I'm an idiot. And I was kind of feeling that a little bit too.
Ooh.
Like whenever we were going through the...
Yeah, I know what
But
you mean. Me too.
look, man, it's all your fault, the good and the bad.
Mm-hmm.
So use that to your advantage.
Yeah, I need to keep that in mind. Don't forget that the good is also your fault.
The good's also your fault, man. So you do bad things happen and you're not achieving your goals, that's your fault.
Mm-hmm.
When you do achieve your goals and you are working hard, that's also your fault.
That's great.
So, I think we're going to end on that one.
No, I think so. I mean, I wish that I would have thought of that years ago, but here we are.
Well, this podcast coming to an end right now is our fault.